Hey guys, it's me Suja over here. Welcome back to another video. So on this video, I'm going to be talking about why do Indians love to show off. So since I'm out here in India, I thought of talking about some topics related to the Indian society, the Indian mentality. Um, Firstly, if you're new to my channel, the name of my channel is called as Sujo in Vietnam. I've been living in Vietnam for over 7 years. And then I started my digital marketing online business. I'm also a full-time YouTuber, so if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. And it takes less than 2 seconds to subscribe to my channel, and that way you can support my work. So, yeah, last week I was a bit lazy. I was working on some other project to, I was working on my online business, so I really didn't get time to make or upload any videos. Um, but yeah, today I'm going to be talking about why do Indians love to show off. So I'm here on a short stay here in India, and I think I've completed a month right now. And I am from India, and it's nothing new for me to realize that it's very you know it's very common for Indians like to show off. Like I have experienced this. Um, Normally, I'm a very simple guy. I dress very simple. I wear some half jeans and I wear normal T-shirts. I never wear any branded T-shirts or any Armani's or Louis Vuittons or whatever. Or I don't even have an iPhone. Um, but yes, like I do see this like when I go to the shopping malls here in India, especially in my city or any other city. You will find you will find a lot of Indian people. They'll be showing off, with their iPhones, or women. They have a lot of jewelries, or someone's wearing some branded T-shirt like Armani Exchange and all those kind of things, or wearing branded sunglasses, like Ray-Ban or something. And especially like when I go to, if I like say if I go to Starbucks, and if I go and sit and have a coffee. um, I'm not having a coffee right now, I'm just having some tea. Having some tea before my workout. So, yeah, I do see a lot of young Generation Z over here. Indians, they have their iPhones, or they're with their MacBooks and everything, or wearing all branded T-shirts. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. But what I've also observed is that like whenever I go to these malls, or if I just sit down, maybe even at Starbucks or something here in India, like I always encounter some people. They will be talking very loudly, and they will be with a bunch of their group of friends, girls, guys, or whatever, and simply showing off a lot. Like, oh, things like, oh, I went to Australia, oh, I went to LA. I don't like UK right now. I don't want to go to South Africa. Oh, I need to buy this iPhone 15 tomorrow. Oh, and all the high class talk. Uh, I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's just that even like some people talking on the phone, like they talk about a lot of money. Oh, I'm going to, I will transfer you this much of, like lakhs, like maybe 10 grands or something of money to you or whatever. Or, I mean, I don't know. Like this, usually I hear all these conversations at the coffee shops here in India, like in Starbucks, or like they come very nicely dressed. There's nothing wrong with that, but what pisses me off is that they look down on other people who are not dressed to show off. I never wear branded t-shirts. You would not be seeing me wearing Armani Exchange or whatever those branded Gucci watches or whatever. I'm a very simple person. But the fact that most Indians, they love to show off wealth. I mean, they love to show off, and I've been told that sometimes there are Indians who like to, show off, who like to show themselves, who like to show off, but they're not financially sound or something, or like they will spend their entire salary buying an iPhone, the latest iPhone, but they may be having like zero money in their bank account or something. And like it's very common over here to take installments from the bank and purchase an iPhone. I can do that, but I'm not a big fan of doing that because you will be limiting yourself contractually for 2 years or for a year paying that installment loan. So yeah, a lot of Indians, they do take a lot of installments and loans from the bank to buy high value items like iPhones, the latest iPhones, or a nice car. But they're kind of bounding themselves to a contractual agreement. So that shows the magnitude of how much most Indians are when they're crazy about showing off. So I've taken down some points, like which I feel, from my personal experience. So like I think the first one would be the social status. Um, like in an Indian environment, in an Indian society, it's very rare to find like a rich Indian family hanging around um, with the middle class Indian family, or with or with some poor Indian family. So it always has to be that level. Even like the network of friends. Like especially in these, go to these high end malls and all those, or you go to these Starbucks coffee shop and all that. You'll find bunch of buddies or people, a bunch of friends and everything. They all are like the same social status. So it's not very common to see some well-off Indian family or group of friends associating with someone who doesn't have a lot of money or who's coming from a poor family or something. So I think the first one would be the social status. The second one, which I think is heavily impacting, is the social media environment here in India. Like especially most Indians, the Generation Z, they're crazy about Instagram, and all these Instagram reels. TikTok is banned; they don't use TikTok over here. Instagram reels, YouTube Shorts, but I think Instagram reels, like you'll see a lot of, and this concept came from Bollywood. Like I mean, you see all these entertainers, Bollywood actors and actresses and everything. They all love to wear expensive dresses and fancy watches and everything, and this kind of triggers the mindset for a lot of young Indians. Like they need to be like that. So they do a lot of show off. They buy like expensive watches, or I've seen some Instagram reel where some young Indian dude is throwing money from the car in the streets of New Delhi. Um, it's just like the craze, the show off craze, so that to get more likes, more followers. Um, I mean, there's nothing wrong showing off, but if it's to a certain limit, that's all right. But I think here in India, sometimes it goes beyond the limits, right? The third one would be the desire for recognition. So it's just that it's very common over here in the Indian environment, in the Indian society, is that like if you're driving a fancy car or if you have the latest iPhone or you know you will have a lot of people. They would like to associate with you. They would like to connect with you. Or you will have that kind of gold standard treatment, like even if you're going in shopping malls, or if you are like going to these Indian parties, wedding parties or whatever it is. It's just that it gives you that pride of recognition that I got the latest iPhone. I'm wearing branded stuff, or people want to associate. They give you more kind of gold standard treatment, and it's very common over here in India. Like if you're like well off, and if you're driving a fancy car or having the best of electronic items or whatever, you'll get a lot of uh, very good gold standard treatment. Like a lot of people will be like, they'll be extra nice to you, or yes sir, no sir. The security guards, they will stand up, salute you like yes sir. I mean, it kind of you they kind of the moon opens up. Like they kind of open up the moon for you, right? So the desire for recognition is very high over here in India. Especially that is like they feel very sensitive about this. Like for me, I don't want to be. I'm just very. I am who I am. I work hard on my online business. I do content for my audience, but I don't need to have an iPhone. I don't need to wear branded clothes. I don't want to get salutes from people, from the security guards, or I don't want to have that gold standard treatment or whatever. And also, I have seen that in shopping malls, like if some Indians, they dress very well, or they're having the fancy, they like to hold the phone on their hand, and they like to hold it, and they want to show off, like what a new phone they have or whatever. I don't do that, but it's very common over here to see a lot of Indians. They hold their phones, like showing like I got an iPhone or some shit like that. Um, that doesn't that doesn't impress me at all. But when they go inside these nice shops in the shopping mall, they get immediately nicely treated. Hello, sir. How can I help you? And the moon opens up for you. But like for me, I've done this social experiment. So last week I was in the shopping mall, and I was pretty dressed pretty normal and everything. Like how I like to dress around in Southeast Asia. Like just like a normal cheap Charlie kind of a backpacker type guy. But the moment I enter these shopping malls and everything, I don't get entertained at all by the salespeople, and in fact, they kind of avoid me or something. Or sometimes, I do have some security people at the mall. They will look at me up and down, like as if I'm wearing some shady clothes or whatever. But it shows the um, level. It shows the magnitude, how much most Indians are sensitive when it comes to showing off. The last one would be, I think, the traditional celebrations. I think there's nothing wrong, like when you have traditional celebrations over here in India. Um, Let me just have a bit of my tea. When you have the traditional celebrations over here in India, people love to wear, the Indian women, they love to wear a lot of gold, and, they like to deck up themselves and everything. And also the guys, they like to dress very nice and everything. That's perfectly fine. But let's talk about the wedding, the big fat Indian wedding, which recently happened, in India, especially the son of an influential um, industrialist here in India. I'm sure you will be knowing who that guy is. But most of the Hollywood actors, influencers, they all flew down to India to attend the wedding, and the whole of Mumbai, the financial capital of India, came to a standstill and everything just for the wedding, the big fat wedding, just to show off a lot of wealth. While there is also a lot of poverty in India, which I do see, but the gap between the rich and poor is still quite significantly high over here. So especially in these weddings, you will always find the bride and the groom. They come from the same family status, the same wealth status or something. It's very uncommon to find an Indian man getting married to an Indian girl who comes from a poor family, which is sad, but it's not a common thing to see every day. My ex-wife, she was from the Philippines. She came from a very poor family, and I come from a upper middle class family, right? I come from a decent family here, but that never bothered me. I mean, I'm not saying, I do understand that there are also modern Indian families that are open-minded, and I would like to see more of that. Otherwise, like I would say 80% of the time, sorry, 80% of the time, um, like especially during the weddings and everything, the family status has to be kind of the same. Um, so, I mean, that's the way it is. So, um, but I would definitely like things to change over time, maybe some rich Indian girl, she can fall in love with a Indian guy who doesn't come from the same family status or comes from a poor family or something. Vice versa. I would love to see more of that. So yes, my final verdict is, um, Indians do love to show off, and this you're gonna find it a lot when you come out here, to India. So let me know about this. Let me know about your thoughts. Does it turn you off when you see other Indians showing off, or can you give me some examples of you experiencing Indian people showing off, uh, whether in India or overseas or something? So got a bit dry. Okay. So yeah, I would love to hear all this, feedback from you. If you found this video to be informational and insightful, so you can like this video and all the good stuff. Additionally, you can buy me a coffee. The link is down in the description below. And if you're traveling around in Southeast Asia and you want to start a successful online business, you can click the link down in the description below. It's a free access to it's an access to a free webinar masterclass. I highly recommend you check that out. I will get back to the regular schedule of making and uploading YouTube videos talking about maybe about India or about Vietnam. So yeah, so apologies, like last week I didn't upload a lot. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. This was me, Sue Joy. Peace out.